staged in this hearing today for a mashup, a video that you ran showing some of the riots around the country, some of the protests that have turned violent.
I mean, the video speaks for itself. You had two reporters in that video saying these are peaceful protests while there's a building burning in the background, for goodness sake. So we just presented the truth. We wanted to make sure the American people saw what is really happening in these cities.
Congressman Jordan neglected to give the full context of these comments. So my team and I did it for him.
Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
Here are the fuller context of the remarks of our correspondent Diane Gallagher.
This is something that we have been seeing here on the streets of Atlanta, mostly peaceful protests since the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. And when it was one of their own, that anger, that frustration, that pain simply exploded. And we saw the result of that overnight and into this morning in those protests. Again, for the most part, throughout the entire day on Saturday, the protest after Rayshard Brooks' death were peaceful, and as it began to get dark, things began to change.
Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
Here, for example, is the full sentence of what CNN reporter Josh Campbell said.
And this has been the epicenter where there have been largely peaceful protests during the day, at night sometimes turning violent with these confrontations between protesters and police.
Diane Gallagher and Josh Campbell, as you saw, accurately described the protests as peaceful and then often exploding into something else, including violence at night. But Congressman Jordan, you just quoted the part of what they said that said peaceful protests when that wasn't the full context. That's not what they said. They weren't calling violent protests peaceful. Congressman Jordan, you did a disservice to them. And more importantly, you did a disservice to the American people, and you did a disservice to the truth.